Jackson, man, three-pointer, bang! Oh, what a man!
Magic down the middle, just what I thought. A hook shot at 12, good!
Here's Michael at the foul line, a shot on Elo, good! The Bulls win it! They win it!
Now there's a steal by Murr. Underneath the DJ,
Going up over Bell, ball away. Yes! Yes! At the buzzer, he does it! Was there ever a doubt?
A Smith screen. Posey will defend. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life.
It's a physical game. Oh, man, oh, my. A monster jam by Blake Griffin.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another post-game live here on Dime Dropper for the 2024 Olympics. Before we get started, you already know the drill. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper. Hit the notification bell so you know every single time I post a video or go live. You can also listen to this on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Apologies for how late I'm going live, but I figured I'm just going to do it tonight instead of tomorrow morning. Doesn't matter how many people are in the live. It's going to be people listening after it's done, and obviously people listening on audio. So I was just like, I'm just going to get this episode off earlier rather than later, the day of the game, even though technically it's Thursday as I'm recording this. But I was trying to, the reason why I delayed the live, I was actually going to go live at around 10:30 normal time, but I wanted to watch France's game because I wanted to come on here and talk about it. So I'm going to talk about USA, South Sudan, and then we're going to talk about France, and then we're going to talk about Spain and it was Spain and Greece. Yeah, and then Canada versus Australia. So we're going to talk about all those games. But let's start out with USA. That's where we should start, of course. Second game today, this one against South Sudan. And let me just say, it's good to see one of my, I wouldn't say one of my favorite players as a kid, but a player I really liked and admired, Luol Deng, when he was on the Chicago Bulls, you know, with what he's done for basketball in that region and what he's donated to that. You know, to see him on that bench was really cool. You know, you had Wenyen Gabriel and just some really good, lanky, athletic dudes on South Sudan, a team that was going to throw out more of a 4-out, 1-in look or even a 5-out kind of look and just try to use athleticism, speed, and shooting to try to cause problems. And I honestly think after watching them play today that they have a chance of doing something in this tournament. They were much better than I expected. But as far as the starting lineup, there was a change. And that was that Jason Tatum was inserted into the starting lineup for Drew Holiday, and Anthony Davis was inserted into the starting lineup for Embiid. Now, last episode I came on here and said that I heard someone told me that Embiid was possibly promised a starting spot so that he would not play for France. And I don't know if that's true. People could, you know, they could have still done that, and then they show him like, look, Joel, like you're not playing very well. Is it okay we bring you off the bench? And what's he supposed to say? Or it never happened at all. I don't really care to speculate on that anymore. The fact of the matter is, he was not promised for sure that he would start the entire time. And I was definitely in favor of him going to the bench because last game, everything was just moving a little too slow when he was on the ball. And he was just lazy. He was being extremely lazy to start the game. His passes weren't good. He just looked sluggish out there. And Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo give us that ability to switch 1 through 5, which, you know, they can do on their normal teams. But with the For the most part, everybody on Team USA can guard except for a couple of guys, and it's time to call them out by name. Tyrese Halliburton, which we know teams in like the Celtics before he got hurt were hunting him incessantly. The New York Knicks, same deal. And then Stephen Curry. I mean, it was glaring today, and it's been glaring the last 2 games, and I've mentioned it since the 2022 title. He has lost a lot of his lateral quickness. He's still as strong as he was in 2022, but he's just smaller. Like he's not smaller than he was then. He's small and he's older and slower. So everything is just exacerbated. You know what I'm saying? And right now, Steph Curry, and I'm afraid this applies a bit to him in the NBA as well. If his 3 ball's not falling, he still affects the game, of course. But he is not having the same impact that he once had. He's not getting into the paint as much. He's not as good on the ball. He doesn't have the energy, the same energy. Obviously, he doesn't have the same teammates that create the space for him. But what's his excuse right now? He's got the best teammates. I will say this, though, and I'm going to be honest about it. In the beginning of the game, LeBron, and by the way, the USA won this one 103-86. If you want to go through the quick moral of the story is we have too much quality, in my opinion, to lose games. That's always been the case with USA, but when we actually put out our best team, and this is damn near our best team, of course, Jaylen Brown and Kawhi are two guys that you would like to have on the team, but the way Derek White is playing right now, the way he played today, I mean, can you argue with his selection? He just is so seamless in fitting him into any basketball team. He essentially has to play the exact same game that he always plays with the Celtics with his team. Just catch and shoot, play good defense, move the ball. Very simple. And play hard, which he always does. My thing is this. First of all, Steve Kerr, clearly it seemed like the coaching staff there's one way you can go about it, and it's by saying that the coaching staff got bullied into putting Tatum into the starting lineup with everyone talking about it so much. And then there's the other devil's advocate reason, which was, look, Sudan has more switchable length and size. Serbia was about bigs and Jokic. Tatum, this is a better matchup for him. I don't know about that. I think you could still find a place for Tatum, but everybody played in this game except for Joel Embiid. And again, I have no problem with it. But Tyrese Halliburton even got a little bit of burn, made his first shot on an open three. What I was going to say was this. Oh, yeah, so the USA, the main thing is we just pull away with our bench especially. I think KD has really been the difference. KD and Ant come in, and they really changed the game for us. So I don't know if I'd even put KD in the starting lineup with the way he's playing right now off the bench. I mean, I don't know. I would start KD because he's been so damn good. Like, to me, he's been our best player through 2 games. But if they want to just go with what's working, I have no issue with that. I think starting's overrated. It's really about who closes. But here's what I want to say, right? Starting the first quarter, we were up 26-14. I think that was a result of our ball pressure. Our ball pressure was very, very good. Devin Booker's been fantastic defensively, in my opinion, through these first 2 games. It's reminded me of the 2020, started in the 2019-20 season, and I would say as of the end of the 2023 season, it ended. And when I mean I mean him playing good defense and trying hard on that end consistently. Because this last season, I didn't even watch a bunch of Suns games in the regular season, but I saw in the playoffs his defense wasn't as good. And Suns fans all regular season were saying that Devin Booker was not guarding with the same amount of effort. And that was definitely partially because of the fact that he was playing point guard, essentially. He was there, especially with Beal missing so many games. They had a point guard by committee kind of situation because they don't have a point guard. Now they picked up Tyus Jones, which I think is a very solid move. And people are saying, oh, is Bradley Beal going to come off the bench? Are you insane? Tyus Jones is going to come off the bench. Bradley Beal is getting paid $30+ million a year. The reason why I say $30+ million is because I don't have the figure in front of me. If I have one of my mods in here, please check that for me. But he's not coming off the bench, and I don't think he should necessarily. Anyway, point being that Devin Booker's guarding right now. But I think we could have been up by even more after the first quarter. And I have to say, LeBron was the aggressor. 8 points to start the game, getting downhill. But let me just say this, and it applies to Ant-Man as well, but partially it's not as big a deal with Ant-Man because he comes in and plays such good defense. Like, LeBron had some good moments of one-on-one defense today, especially when guys try to go into his chest. Whenever they go into his chest, they hit a brick wall and he swipes down and always gets the ball. So he has good hands. But there were some moments where he was falling asleep defensively or getting beat easily. And just, again, we've seen it. We cover LeBron here on this channel every game. We have since I started this channel. We know how it goes sometimes with him defensively. He had a couple decent possessions throughout the game, but it was not the same as the first game against Serbia. And then what I was going to say about him and Ant was, and please don't call me a hater because I keep it 100. Everybody says I'm a James Harden hater. I'm a Luka hater. It's a style of play, right? I'm not a huge fan of guys. And I do love Ant-Man, and LeBron is LeBron. But I don't like when the ball sticks, especially when you're playing with this kind of talent. I don't like when it sticks in general. I always preach ball movement with my teams that I coach. But LeBron and Ant were playing as if they were playing in a normal NBA game without all these stars. Like, just when LeBron was in, he wanted to constantly create every shot down the floor. It was like ridiculous, in my opinion. I was like, dude, you're playing with Devin Booker and Jason Tatum. Like, move the ball. Like, it's just weird because the last game, I was giving him so much praise that, like, he was getting rid of the ball quick. He was pushing it. He was, like, the only guy that was looking to throw those hit-ahead passes and all that. And then this game, he's reverting to Lestat. Like, I mean, there were some brutal possessions to watch with him turning the ball over. And then, like, that to me takes Steph out of rhythm a bit. Towards the end of the first half, Steph was completely forcing shots because he was not touching the ball. And I think there is a degree of go get it. But clearly the coaching staff wants things to revolve around LeBron and then Steph off ball. That's normal. And Steph is so suspect on the ball these days in terms of taking care of it. In the NBA, he's always been a turnover prone on the ball, but it's even worse now. He doesn't have that same quick step, that burst. It doesn't create the same advantages that he once did. And he is suspect with the ball in terms of turnovers with those passes and when he gets a screen. But there still is a balance with Steph Curry, and this just essentially being Klay Thompson is not quite Steph Curry. He still needs the rock a little bit more. That being said, there's no excusing his missed layups and then his bad defense. But I just think if LeBron and Ant-Man, again, he comes in and gives you defensive pressure too. So he comes in with KD and Bam Adebayo, I thought was spectacular today, both ends of the floor. So those three coming in, changing the game. But the starters were just not good. Tatum was okay. He just didn't touch the ball much. I thought he did some good stuff defensively with his switchability and whatnot, and his athleticism. And AD was AD. He had some good finishes around the basket. His defense is good, much better than Embiid. But LeBron and Steph, no, because LeBron wants to hold the ball so much, and then Steph's not very much in rhythm. But again, I just don't want to give the rhythm thing, make it a total excuse for Steph. But yeah, it was a lot of LeBron on ball. Kevin Durant, though, he came into the game and just turned up, like got to the line immediately. And that's the thing about Book and KD. They really are so quick off the catch. They move off the ball. They're good catch and shoot guys. They're just guys that are very easy to play with. When they make their move, they don't take too many dribbles. They just do fairly fundamental things. I think the problem with them is they don't generate enough easy baskets around the rim. They're not the quick. Well, KD's not the quickest in the world anymore, and Booker's never really been the quickest. So it's a lot of contested mid-ranges and threes, and they're such great shooters that they get away with it to a degree. But in my opinion, that's why the Suns can't win a championship. More than anything about their supporting cast, and yeah, their supporting cast is not very good, but they don't generate enough easy baskets to me. They don't fully get by the defender as much anymore. And I think maybe Beal, the fact that they're saying the Suns fans are telling me that Beal has the best rim pressure, has the best ability to get to the rim off the dribble on that team, that's a concern. They're not winning a championship with that. You need to generate easy baskets. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, they got to the paint a lot. And then they have Drew Holiday and Derek White that can do it. So that's something. So anyway, I did not like the way the starters are playing, but KD was fantastic. I mean, Ant-Man getting downhill. Second quarter, I thought, again, too much Ant and LeBron ball pounding. Derek White gave us some fantastic minutes defensively. You know, he's such a great shot blocking guard. And then, of course, moving his feet, point of attack, all that is great. Bam Adebayo, though, he was quite the standout. We know what he can do switching 1 through 5, but seeing him knock down corner threes, that's something that if you're a Miami Heat fan, you go, man, if he can consistently do that, then sky's the limit. It really can open up our offense, maybe add 2-3 extra points to his PPG. And what I noticed was they were corner threes. And we don't really see Bam Adebayo take corner threes in Miami. It's usually top of the key, off a pick and pop situation and whatnot. Maybe that's in his bag. His shot is beautiful. I think he's got a good mid-range shot. I just don't think he's aggressive enough mentally as a scorer. Like, he's not like, he doesn't have that, like, I'm a dog, I'm about to drop 25 or 20 plus points every night with ease. I like the way he played in the finals, though, against Denver. I thought he did his part. I think Jimmy didn't show up to the party there, and they just weren't as good of a team. And Jokic is just clearly the best player. But I don't love Bam's offensive lack of aggression at times. It's been a big thing I've been critical of him for, because he has moves in his toolbox where you're like, dude, how is this guy not averaging, 23 plus points a game in the modern NBA? And I say the modern NBA because it's never been easier to score points. It's like the rules have never been so geared to offense. People don't really understand how much the rules are geared to offense compared to the past. So that's my thing with Bam, though. He was fantastic. That's all I have to say. I thought the ball movement was actually better than the first game, though, from USA. I think it was. I just think that we could play with more pace. I think one big problem I have, and this became very glaring when I watched the two Dream Team games I watched, and this has nothing to do with competition level. This is basketball philosophy and instincts, and honestly, it's something that was just more prevalent in the past. Rebound, look up to outlet. Everybody else get down the floor. A couple guys get down the floor. One guy, get ready for the hit ahead. Now, I think because so many guys are encouraged to handle the ball, the instinct is rebound, put it on the floor every time. But when you watch some of these old school teams like the Showtime Lakers or the 60s Celtics or even the Dream Team, when their bigs get the rebound, they're always looking to throw it up. And, the counter argument is, well, it's because they couldn't handle the ball. That's not true for guys like David Robinson, Bill Russell. Like, that's not really true. Of course, it was discouraged more for bigs to dribble. But the point is not that. The point is to advance the ball as fast as possible and get down the floor quicker than the other team. That's what a miss allows, especially these long misses. And I think that our team could do a better job of that. And that could get Steph in transition a little bit more. I think that these guys, like our American players, I think the problem is so many of them are used to dribbling and having the ball so much in their hands. Like having an off-ball game is why Devin Booker is starting on this team over Tatum and Ant. And those two are better players than him in the NBA. But Booker's starting because of that. I can promise you that. I can promise you that's why. It's not rocket science. It's good to have an off-ball game. If you watch Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and you pay close attention, this is why I say they're the best scorers of all time. Because I think KD is good off the ball, but not like those two. Not the way they fought for post position, change their angle on their positioning to make the pass easier, stuff like that, like spinning off their guy when they're being fronted and stuff flashing to the foul line when they see the middle open, stuff like that. I just think, and then of course in sets, working quickly off the catch, coming off screens, curling, all that stuff. I just think that they're fantastic. And then the spontaneous nature that they had. So that's why I say they're the best scorers for me. But yeah, I think, let's see, we outscored them 29-22 in the second quarter. Third quarter, they actually outscored us 21-18. And again, starters off to some bullshit for real. Steph was bricking. LeBron was doing too much. And the coaching staff, they took off every one of the starters. They brought in Ant-Man, KD, Bam, Derek White, and Holiday. They just brought them all in. And I just thought Derek White was so good. I mean, there's not much more I can say about him. We know what he does. I talked about it all. The playlist is there. 2024 NBA playoffs or finals. Take your pick. Derek White has talked about. We know what he does. I'm telling you, he is growing his legacy as one of the best role players, in my eyes, we've ever seen in the game. And that's coming from somebody who really studies the history of the game. I think he's and being on Team USA further increases that argument. And right now, there is no way that I am picking any team over Boston to start this season with the Denver Nuggets offseason that they've had that I've not been a fan of, really. I mean, I do like the Russ move, but that's not a needle mover. Who else we got? Like the Warriors, after watching Steph right now, they might make the play-in if they're lucky, but they're cooked, dude. Steph can't win a championship with the best player anymore. Hell no. It's too hard for him. And I said that before, and he answered with a chip. So, I have so much respect for Steph, but I don't think I'm going to get it right. I'm going to get it wrong this time. He's done. And that's okay. He's 35. Father Time is undefeated. He's still amazing. But, man, I thought that Sudan was impressive. They were not going away. I mean, Team USA was okay. I mean, Ant-Man was dribbling too much for me. Fourth quarter, they got it within 12. That's the crazy part. They got it within 12. And then finally, Steph started scoring a little bit more. He had a little layup coming off screen. We had some good stuff with Anthony Davis as the roller. And then Bron had some moments with good hands defensively that led to some offense. And I thought Devin Booker, his two-way play was very impressive. I thought after Bam and KD, he was probably our next best player. And we got the dub in the end, outscoring South Sudan 30-29 in the fourth. But in the second half, we actually got outscored 48-50. So we got outscored in a half. That's something of note. That's something to note. I don't know, man. We're going to win this gold, but 2028, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to be all in for 2028 because we're going to be playing here. That's going to be the most patriotic I'll ever be for Team USA basketball because we're playing at the Intuit Dome, my arena, our arena here, LA Clipper fans. But those vlogs are going to go crazy if I'm still doing this by then, or at not by, yeah, if I'm still doing this at that point. I probably will be, though. I love this game too much. And we got to get to 1 million. That's the goal. But yeah, 103-86. USA gets the dub. My point was I'm going to be actually hardcore rooting for USA. Like, of course, I'm rooting for us now, but I don't lose sleep if we lose. If we lose in LA, though, and at home and on home soil in America, even more so the fact that it's in LA at the Intuit Dome, I'm going to be butthurt. We better win. I'm going to be all in. I'm going to be at the games. Anyway, USA shot 53% in this game, 43 from deep, 80 from the foul line. So shooting split's fantastic. South Sudan shot 42%, but they shot 6 more times than us. They shot 38% from three, so that was part of why they were still in the game. 4 guys in double figures for them. Omat, he was impressive. Omat, Shayok, Jones, and Quol. I like this team, honestly, though. They're a likable team. And then 92% from the foul line. We shot 8 more free throws than they did. Let's read some of the lines real quick. Halliburton played the least, besides, of course, Embiid, who didn't play. 8 minutes. He had 6 points and an assist on 2 for 3 shooting, and all his shots were threes. So Halliburton coming in, being efficient, knocking down the 3 ball. Drew Holiday played 15 minutes. Very solid. I thought he took some ill-advised shots, though, just coming up the court, shooting jump shots, which he has a tendency to do sometimes. Doesn't need to do that on this team. 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 dime, 1 block, no turnovers on 2 for 5 shooting, 1 for 3 from deep in 15 minutes. Derek White, he only played 17 minutes, but I felt like he was so impactful in that time. 10 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 3 steals and a block, no turnovers on 3 for 3 shooting, and all his shots were threes, 1 for 2 from the foul line. I mean, what kind of hilarious stat line is that? 10 points, you got 3 steals and a block, and you shot 100%. I mean, come on. And then we got 17 minutes for Tatum starting. He had 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 dimes, 1 block, 1 turnover on 2 for 4 shooting and 0 for 1 from 3. His 3 was a wide open corner 3 off the side of the backboard. And I looked at some highlights of him in 2022, that game 6 he had against Milwaukee. Shout out my boy NMZ on Twitter. Was posting a video of his game 6 in Milwaukee that we have a live of, a post game of on this channel. The best game to me that he's ever played, with the Celtics under elimination, facing elimination. He goes into Milwaukee, gets it done. Crazy game. His jump shot looks different now. He's got a little hitch at the top. It was a smoother, looked like a one motion release a couple years ago. I don't know if it's the weight he's put on, but it's definitely affected his shot negatively. That's something to watch. But he shot well from 3 last year. It was just right now he's in a bad slump. He hasn't made a jumper in all of the USA preliminary and, in this game. But I don't think he was bad. He still should get some minutes. I don't know if he should start, though. And then you had Ant-Man only played 17 minutes, but I thought he was good. 13 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 3 steals. I think he ball pounds a little too much, and he's trying to show everybody. Like, he always plays like he's got a point to prove. But right now, I'd say just let Ant be Ant. But I don't mind him coming off the bench. Him and LeBron at the same time, I don't know about all that for starting the game. I like Ant-Man coming off the bench. He was just that good defense. 4 for 9 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, and 3 for 4 from the foul line. Felt like he got more than 17 minutes, but Anthony Davis, 19 minutes. He had 8 points, 7 boards, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks on 4 for 7 shooting. So I thought he was very solid overall, doing what AD does, and that's playing hard and playing well on both ends of the court. 21 minutes played for Bam, Steph, and LeBron. I thought Bam was spectacular in this game. Honestly, my player of the game. 18 points, 7 boards, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 8 for 10 from the field, 2 for 3 from deep. He was our leading scorer. I mean, what were the odds for that? So Bam Adebayo for me, the player of the game. Seeing him knock down those threes, that should be really encouraging for Heat fans. And Spo's on the coaching staff, so it's right there in front of him. Steph Curry, thought he was awful, to be honest, on both ends of the floor. He needs to be better. And I'm a little worried for the Warriors, man. 3 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, no steals, no blocks, 1 turnover on 1 for 9 shooting, 0 for 6 from 3. I think he needs, this should be a goal of the team to get him shots more consistently throughout the flow of the offense and look for him a little bit more, maybe put him on the ball a little bit more than they are. Because him going minutes and minutes without shooting the ball and touching the ball is like, even the greatest shooter of all time, that's a little hard for a guy who's the focal point of his team and has been for 12 years. Anyway, LeBron James, 12 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 6 turnovers, and we turned the ball over 15 times in this game. 5 for 9 from the field, 0 for 3 from deep, 2 for 3 from the foul line in 21 minutes. Look, do we win without LeBron? I still think yes. Did he do some good things in this game? Absolutely. Was he awful? No. Do I think he was good? Not really. Too selfish, man. Like, I see right through it. I see right through it. It's like, you play, this is Team USA. Like, we don't need you to take over and get ball dominant like that till the end. We want the ball in your hands, but move the ball. Look who you're playing with. The ball movement will always be better than stagnant at every level to me, especially when you're playing with this level of talent. Sorry, LeBron fans. The leading minute getters were the Suns guys, Booker and KD. Devin Booker played 22 minutes. He had 10 points and 6 assists, 1 steal on 4 for 6 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3, 1 for 1 from the line. And I thought he defended very well. Book's been awesome. KD, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, just 1 turnover on 2 for 5 shooting, 2 for 2 from 3. Yeah, how did he have 14 points on 2 made field goals? Got to the line a lot, more than anybody on our team by a distance. 8 for 9 from the foul line. So KD's been pretty damn good. I wonder if he starts next game. But that's the win. Good win for the U.S. We're 2-0. We have advanced to the quarterfinals. Let's talk now about, and by the way, super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Any donation is appreciated. If you want to have a super chat and have it pop up on the screen right now, and I'll read your comment, just, donation to the channel is appreciated. Doing this for you guys. By the way, I posted a new video, every statue at Staples Center. For those people that have never been, I posted every statue and up close, the description with it in order of completion. So please check that video out. That's for the people. And anyway, let's, on the next game, what do you guys want to hear from? What game you guys want to talk about next? Want to do Spain, Greece, Canada, Australia, or Japan, France? Let me know, chat. I'm going to drink a little water right now. Let me know, chat. What we thinking? What we thinking? Okay. You guys aren't going to talk. So I guess I'll just go with France. All right. No one actually said anything in the chat. So we're going to talk about France. France versus Japan. I thought this game would be a lot more comfortable of a win for France. This was a weird game. Japan's three-point shooting reminded me of their women's team. Very good. And especially that point guard, Kawamura. He was 6 for 15 from 3. He was hitting. Their whole team was hitting. And that's the way you're going to beat France, because they've got Rudy Gobert and Wemby down there. You got to knock down some outside shots. Here's the thing, though, about France. They started staggering Gobert and Wemby for portions of this game. They didn't like having them both out there together. Spacing. And obviously Wemby's better than Gobert, so Gobert was taking a seat. I thought Japan was very impressive. Rui Hachimura, I talked about last game how it's hard for them to get good shots when he's your best shot creator. But that Kawamura guy, he was really, really good. And Rui was knocking down those contested jumpers today. He was hitting some pull-ups. He had this really nice post move. And again, it doesn't all have to be contested jumpers facing up and turnarounds from the mid-range. If Rui wanted to work a little bit harder and get better post position, then maybe he would have a easier time scoring. But a lot of guys don't want to fight hard enough for post position because post game is not encouraged in today's game. But in FIBA, he's got to try. He's got to do his best. You should always go to what works for you. I don't understand what the difference is between a post up and then an ISO from the top. Like, it's still an ISO. And I think a post up, you're deeper. It's easier to double, but you have to make a deeper rotation a lot of the time. Anyway, France outscored Japan 32-25 in the first. I thought Wemby got off to a great start. And man, it had 8 points on all jumpers to start the game. It's very interesting seeing a guy of that size come off screens for threes, catch and shoot. Like, seeing Larry Markkinen do it was crazy, but like seeing a guy his size do it is wild. But as I said, the Japan 3-ball was keeping him in the game. Second quarter, pretty low scoring. Japan outscored France 19-17. By the way, Japan has this white guy, Hawkinson. He looks like a straight-on American, dude. Like, the dude's a white guy. How's he playing for Japan? He's got a Japanese citizenship. I mean, that's wild. We shouldn't even complain about Embiid playing for USA when we got white dudes playing for freaking Japan. But anyway, and that guy was playing pretty well, playing good D, being physical with Wemby, knocking down shots, hacking like a motherfucker, though. Third quarter, dead even, 20-20. This game was pretty neck and neck, honestly, for the majority of it. And France actually started the second half with Gobert on the bench. So that really told you, like, look, we're leaning into Wemby at the center, kind of like what the Spurs did as the year went on. But the Japanese, man, they were still just staying in the game with their 3-ball. But I'll tell you who answered for France. And by the way, Nicolas Batum, haven't even mentioned his name yet. He was very quiet till the fourth quarter. Just the shots didn't come his way. And that's the life of a spot-up shooter offensively. Like, sometimes the ball just doesn't find you. The performance, though, of former Boston Celtic Gershon Yabusele was actually very big time in the second half. He knocked down a 3, and then he hit a mid-range where he just turned and faced beautifully and rose up over the top. He had 5 straight points and an assist. He was pushing France forward, and it felt like to me that they were going to pull away and win the game. And then Rui Hachimura hit 2 threes back-to-back, tough threes. And then he got his second unsportsmanlike foul on a basic takedown where he grabbed Gobert's arms and got ejected from the game for the second, like, essentially flagrant foul. Load of bullshit. I can't believe they threw him out for that. Like, just an absolutely egregious call. Ridiculous. And this is supposed to be FIBA, more physical, like Edwin said, and Basketball Figueroa, which, by the way, if you haven't checked out, go please check it out. Talk to USA, both men and women. Dude, that was ridiculous. Complete bullshit. It's almost like the home cooking. We got a question. Is that home cooking going on? Because Rui should not have been ejected for that. And then you have what was an insane ending to the game. Kawamura knocking down shots, and France just went completely ice cold. Japan took a 3-point lead, and then Fournier hit a step-back 3. Fournier went ghost in the second half, by the way, until that. He was really good in the first half, had like 12 points. Second half, he went completely ghost. And then the Japan went back up by 4. I forget exactly how. From the line, I remember it was partially. And then Hawkinson made that floater when Wemby kind of got beat off the bounce. Wemby missed a 3 after Fournier missed a shot. And then that's when, after, Strazel had the 4-point play. And I thought he was really good in the game, knocking down his open shots and handling the ball. Because they need some, France needs some ball handlers. He's really their starting point guard, and he did a very good job. But look, as far as that foul call, he had the hand on the hip, right? That's technically, by the letter of the law in the NBA, a foul. I don't know exactly the FIBA rules. Oh, by the way, no, Strazel didn't start in this game. It was Albisi. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm probably not. But Strazel got 23 minutes, so he was really the 5th starter in the game. And then Gershon Yabusele got 18, Nando De Colo 15. Ntilikina and Koulibaly got 13 apiece. So they went pretty deep into the rotation. But who was I just talking about? Strazel's 4-point play, right? So the hand on the hip, by the letter of the law in the NBA, that's a foul. But I'll just say this. It's still a little bit soft to call, but why are you even in that close to him? Why are you even jumping? Like, just take a step back and put your hand up, and if he makes it, he makes it. Insane that they're like, even you cannot put the ref in the position to make a bad call. Let me repeat that. You cannot put the ref in the position to make a bad call because you can never rely on the refs making bad calls. It's just very dumb. Also, why are you sinking to double Gobert when you're up by 4? They were closing out hard, like jumping. To me, they deserve to have that 4-point play happen when they're being that stupid. How are you? First of all, Gobert should not garner any double team from the middle of the paint. But I mean, when you're up by 4, are you serious? Just ridiculous. By the way, clutch ass shot though by Strazel, and he made the free throw. And guess who, of course, got the game, saving stop to force overtime? Nico Batum. Kawamura tried to pull up for a 3 over him. No dice. Overtime. And it was the Wemby show in OT. Started out with a really nice entry look from Nico, but it came off like an incredible, agile display from Wemby where he spun for the ball. He caught it, put it on the floor, and then spun again and laid it up. Got an and-1. And then I have to say, Gobert, even though I don't like him, that 2 big lineup actually worked well in overtime because Escar Gobert crashed the offensive boards, and that led to that Wemby 3. So that put France up by 6. And I believe he had the first 8 points in OT. I thought, by the way, Nico's defense was fantastic in overtime. There was one play where he was literally under the basket, stopping a fast break, forced a kick out, and then got out there for 3 to contest the 3. So, I mean, he just does those little things. Is there any stat for that? Being under the basket on defense to stop, the easy layup, and then the pass is made. You're already, preventing a layup or a shooting foul on a fast break and forcing them to kick it out for 3, and you're still getting a hand up. And of course they miss. I mean, it's just amazing. There's no stat for that. And by the way, Japan didn't go away easily though. Even in the overtime, they made a couple of threes to make it close, but Strazel knocked down 2 huge free throws and finished the job 94-90, a complete and utter choke job by Japan. Of course, it was unfortunate to see Rui Hachimura get ejected, but my word, it was a complete choke. Like to see France win, of course. I'm rooting for Nico, but 94-90 it is. Kawamura ended with 29 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. He shot 3 for 11 from 2. So he ended up 9 for 26, 6 for 15 from 3. Rui Hachimura was having an amazing game before he got ejected. 24 points on 10 for 16 shooting and 3 for 5 from 3. Yuta Watanabe had just 5 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals in 41 minutes on 1 for 4 shooting, 1 for 3 from deep. Japan shot 41% from the field, 43% from 3, 86% from the line. As for France, Nando De Colo played 15 minutes, had 4 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, had a big bucket on a mid-range in the second half. Ntilikina played 13 minutes, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist on 1 for 6 shooting and 1 for 2 from 3. So didn't shoot well at all. Bilal Koulibaly also played 13 minutes, 2 points, 2 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, 1 for 1 shooting. Yabusele, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist on 5 for 10 shooting and 3 for 6 from 3. I thought he was huge for them in this one. And then Strazel, 17 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, game-saving 4-point play, 5 for 9 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3, and 3 for 3 from the foul line. He was spectacular. And then the starters that play in the NBA, Evan Fournier, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. That stat line sounds good, but he was 5 for 18 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3. I thought he was okay. Nico was very quiet, as I said, but he did play 31 minutes, which was, again, for the second straight game. This time he was tied with Wemby for the highest minutes. But in the first game, he led the team in minutes. 5 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 blocks on 2 for 7 shooting. 3 ball wasn't falling for him in this one. 1 for 5 from deep. Gobert, 7 points, 15 rebounds, 6 of those offensive rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks. Had a really good defensive possession when he was guarding Kawamura on the perimeter and got a block on a step-back 3. 3 for 6 from the field. 1 for 5 from the foul line. I mean, it's disgusting watching him shoot free throws, but he made some big plays. I can't lie. And then Wemby, for me, the player of the game. 18 points, 11 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers on 6 for 13 shooting, 3 for 5 from 3, 3 for 3 from the foul line in 31 minutes. France shot 42.5% from the field, 40.5% from 3, just 65% from the line, but Gobert missed 4 of their 6 free throws. I thought Wemby was very good. I thought he did good things on both ends of the floor. I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive as a scorer. And if he wants to just live at the perimeter and the three-point line, it's not really using his size. And that's going to lead to some uncomfortable conversations down the line for his NBA career. But I like when he gets aggressive and catches the ball 12 feet and in or 15 feet and in, as opposed to always at the 3, because he didn't really shoot that well from 3 last year. I don't think he's that great of a three-point shooter. I think it's just amazing to see what he can do. Like when it goes in, it looks insane to see a guy that big do the things that he does. June 28th, July, thank you for the super chat. It says, thanks for the stream. No, thank you for tuning in, bro. Really appreciate it. You're one of the most loyal subscribers I've got, and I acknowledge that, and I appreciate that. France winning this one, 94-90 to advance to 2-0, Japan to 0-2. Let's talk really briefly about Spain and Greece. I thought this was a really interesting game. Spain was doubling Giannis very fast early on in the game, but I have to say, I loved where Giannis was trying to get the ball deeper, closer to the basket. And there was one time where he found Nick Calathis for a 3 early out of the double. I think it was like the first possession of the game. Someone who's been having a great Olympics, though. And I don't just mean for their team. I mean in general. One of the most impressive players so far, the Memphis Teddy Bears, Santi Aldama. He has been making the 3 ball, and he's been hitting some tough ones. But that being said, Greece was still up 20-12 in the first quarter, but Spain closed the quarter well. Greece was switching almost everything. They were doing a soft show on some guys in the pick and rolls. But as I said, Spain's had a really good ending to the quarter, and it started with Sergio Llull. That guy's been around for a while. I mean, he was going crazy. Hit a fall-away 3 coming off a screen to beat the shot clock towards the end of the first quarter, and was getting in the paint, making plays. They were only down by 1 after 1. Giannis had 9 points in the first quarter, so he was setting a tone. 22-21 was the exact score in favor of Greece. But the second quarter is really where the game changed and really turned in Spain's favor. Sergio Llull was just going off. He was literally going off, knocking down 3s, getting in the paint, making good passes. And both teams were hot from 3 to start, and both teams' ball movement was very good. But Spain just started to hit more 3s. And as Greece started missing, Spain got out in transition, and they started hitting. And they just really went nuts from 3 in that second quarter. They outscored Greece 28-13 in the second. And the avalanche, you better believe, started when Giannis was on the bench. In the third quarter, though, Greece answered back with a little punch of their own. They outscored Spain 21-13, and it was Giannis. Giannis leading the charge, Giannis being aggressive, constant pressure on the defense, catching the ball closer to the basket. Love to see it. And in the fourth quarter, Giannis had 5 straight points, cut the game down to 61-62. But Rudy Fernandez, good old Rudy Fernandez, former Portland Trailblazer, answered with a huge open 3. And something I noticed from Spain in this game was they had a lot of 3-2 zone. We saw that several times throughout the game, and there was one time where Giannis told, I forget who, to flash the high post. They got it to the high post, quick swing to the corner for 3, bucket. And that's how you beat a zone. You get the ball to the middle of the floor and then move it. NBA teams just still run their ball screen offense. It's just insane to me. And by the way, this is also something I thought was insane. They were running a box and 1 on Giannis, a true box and 1. People always say that they're running box and 1 on Steph and like all these things. Dude, a box and 1 is not a player man-to-man defense and then the guys playing help boxes and elbows. Like that's not a box and 1. I mean, it is if that's where they're camped out and stationed for an entire possession, but that's just help principles based on where they are a lot of times. When they're loading up the defense, it's not a box and 1. That's just getting ready to help. This was a true box and 1 where Giannis was trying to move around. A guy was staying with him. And everybody else was just standing around. It was interesting. Santi Aldama had a putback dunk where Giannis didn't box out to make it 79-71. I thought the game was over, but then there was a 3 ball. I think it was Papa Nicolau that made it. And then Giannis had an and 1 that made it a 3-point game. Greece got the ball back. It was 80-77 with 30 seconds left. And guess who the ball found at the end of the game? Big old Giannis. And it was the correct swing. Greece was swinging the ball, and he was wide open from three from the top. Hesitated just a second, but at the end, he still shot an open three, and he missed. And of course, he's not a three-point shooter. But even though Giannis I thought was amazing, that's the second straight game. First game it was the free throw. This game it was this open three, where he just hasn't looked great in that last, minute of the game. But Spain get a win, 84-77 over Greece. They go to 1-1 in the tournament. Greece now 0-2, and it's tough because Greece was really in both of the games against Canada and Spain. I hope to see them advance, but we'll see how it goes. Spain shot 47% from the field, 48% from three, 15 for 31, and 83% from the foul line. Very good splits. Greece shot 44% from the field, 34% from three, and 60% from the foul line. And they only shot 5 free throws in the whole game, and it was only Giannis who got to the foul line. Spain shot 13 more free throws. Greece shot 13 more field goals. As for Spain, Sergio Llull, 25 minutes off the bench, had 13 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. He was spectacular. 5 for 9 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. Rudy Fernandez, he only shot threes, 3 for 6, 10 points in 19 minutes. Juancho, he only got 7 minutes in this game, 3 points, 1 for 2 from the field. Usman Garuba had a donut, 2 rebounds in 13 minutes, 0 for 2 from the field. The starters, Lorenzo Brown had 10 assists, 7 points, 10 assists on 2 for 4 from the field, 1 for 1 from 3, 2 for 2 from the foul line. Alex Abrinas had 8 points and 2 rebounds on 3 for 7 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. Willie Hernan Gomez, 11 points, 7 rebounds on 2 for 7 shooting. And my player of the game, Santi Aldama, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks on 6 for 14 shooting, 3 for 8 from 3, and 4 for 4 from the foul line. Giannis had 27 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 4 turnovers on 12 for 17 shooting, and only 1 3-point attempt, the one I talked about, 3 for 5 from the foul line. And only one other player was in double figures for Greece, and that was Toliopoulos. Not only 6 shot attempts for Papa Nikolaou, and only 6 shot attempts for Papa Giannis. Nick Kalaitis was 3 for 12. So tough loss for Greece. Now let's talk for the last game of the night. I didn't get to watch Brazil-Germany, but Germany won by 13. Canada-Australia. Now, Canada-Australia. SGA got into early foul trouble. I was a little bit surprised that they put in Andrew Nembhard before they put in Jamal Murray. With Australia, man, Josh Giddey, he really went. You get to see his on-ball prowess, and that's the thing. In the NBA, and of course on the Thunder, they got so many better off-ball players. We'll see this year. I mean, the Bulls clearly see something in Giddey, so we're going to see him be on the ball more this season. When the ball's in his hands, he makes some good things happen. But off-ball, he's not as a non-threat. His defense is bad. Of course, it's a little easier to defend in FIBA because of the rules, the shortened court, so the help is closer and all that. You can get a little more physical. Offensively, he's been fantastic. He's been controlling things. And this was a very neck-and-neck game the whole way. 28-26, Australia led after 1. And then 21-19, they outscored Canada in the second. So going into halftime, it was 49-45 Australia. But third quarter, Canada outscored them 27-21. And I thought RJ Barrett was fantastic. Attacking closeouts, knocking down his open shots. He's been very efficient so far. And then SGA, I mean, his bag is insane. Crazy deep. I like his bag so much better than the Ant-Man and Tatum. He just gets to his spots, and he has actual spots. Tatum, he likes that step-back 3. I don't love that shot. Ant-Man doesn't really have a spot right now. He just plays like he's just 100 miles per hour all the time. I'm just going to try to kill you every possession, but there's no method to the madness. SGA, I mean, he gets to his spots in the mid-range, and he loves that mid-range, and he has counters to everything. He's got an amazing handle, great footwork, and there was a possession where he was trapped, but he was just pivoting, pump faking, and he still got a good look. Like, he's spectacular, and it hurts when I watch him now. It really does, how good he's become. And maybe he wouldn't have become this good if we hadn't traded him. But he damn sure would have still become great. Kawhi Leonard, man, you were so asleep. Fourth quarter, Canada pulled away, and they did it with their defense. Only allowed 13 points in the fourth. They outscored the Australians 21-13 to win it 93-83, and they advanced to 2-0 in this tournament. Australia, Dante Exum had a very good game in this one. Came off the bench, gave him 17 minutes, had 15 points, 2 boards, and 2 assists on 6 for 9 shooting and 1 for 1 from 3, 2 for 2 from the foul line. But the starters played heavy minutes in this one. Everybody had 26 plus minutes for them, for Australia. Dyson Daniels played 31 minutes. He had 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, but he had 4 turnovers. And Australia turned the ball over 18 times. Dyson shot 4 for 9 from the field, but he was 0 for 3 from deep. 2 for 2 from the foul line. And Australia, this game, these two teams did not shoot well from 3. 36% for Canada, 32% for Australia. And it's funny because they shot the exact same amount of threes, 25. Canada made 9. Australia made 8. They both shot well from the field, though. Canada shot 51%. Australia shot 48%. And Canada shot 74% from the foul line. Australia 79. Patty Mills had a rough game. I thought he tried really hard, played as hard as he could, had some good defensive moments, but 8 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 4 turnovers on 2 for 10 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3, 3 for 3 from the line in 28 minutes. Not his best game. And then Jock Landale had another really solid game. 16 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists on 7 for 10 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3, 2 for 3 from the foul line. He was very solid. And then Giddey, again, very good performance. 19 points, 7 boards, 6 assists, 3 turnovers on 7 for 14 shooting, shooting 50%. 3 for 7 from 3, 2 for 4 from the foul line in 28 minutes. And that is the Aussies there, 1-1. As for the Canadians, Kem Birch played 8 minutes. He had 6 points, 2 rebounds on 3 for 6 shooting. Kelly Olynyk played just 5 minutes. He had a donut in every category except fouls. He had 2 fouls. He was 0 for 1. Trey Lyles played just 7 minutes, 3 points, 1 assist, 1 for 3 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, 1 for 2 from the foul line. Nikhil played 9 minutes, had a donut, and did not register in any category except missed shots, 0 for 2 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3. The other 2 bench players, they got significant minutes. Lou Dort, though, I didn't mention him as much, but he had 11 points, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 turnover on 4 for 7 shooting and 2 for 5 from 3, 1 for 1 from the foul line. Lou Dort's been very efficient to start this tournament. He's always, what he's going to bring defensively. I think he's been very good. Dwight Powell, 7 points, 9 rebounds, 2 steals on 3 for 4 shooting, 1 for 2 from the foul line in 26 minutes. He's been good enough so far, but against USA, we're going to expose him. Dylan Brooks, he played 25 minutes. He had another very solid game. Had a little moment with Josh Giddey where they were just getting into it a bit. 16 points, 3 boards, 1 assist, 2 turnovers on 5 for 9 shooting, 2 for 3 from deep, 4 for 4 from the foul line. I think he's been awesome so far. Andrew Nembhard played 23 minutes off the bench, had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Didn't have it going shooting the ball, though. He was 1 for 6 and 1 for 3 from deep, 2 for 2 from the foul line. How about Jamal Murray? I thought he was okay. 5 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 blocks on 2 for 7 shooting, 1 for 5 from 3, no free throw attempts in 24 minutes. So he played more, but he's picking up where he left off, and that's not a good thing, the way he played against Minnesota. I'm going to keep an eye out on him. RJ Barrett, for me, the player of the game in this one, actually. 24 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 3 turnovers on 8 for 14 from the field, 3 for 6 from 3. So he's been very efficient with the 3 ball, 5 for 6 from the foul line. Just been efficient overall in 25 minutes. He's been great. It's a great sign for Raptors fans. This is awesome, right? Having RJ play for Toronto and for Canada. SGA, though, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals and 2 blocks. That's what I love about SGA. He's still active defensively. I don't think he's as good as the Ant-Man, keeping the ball in front, which is what I consider the biggest form of defense is, can you guard one-on-one? Can you keep the ball in front? If you're a big guy, can you guard in the post? Whatever it may be. SGA, not as good as Ant in that department, but I like SGA's offense so much more. I haven't done my top 10 player rankings. I got to do that video soon, maybe after the Olympics. 8 for 10 for SGA, 80%. He was 0 for 1 from 3, 0 for 2 from the foul line. I mean, that's insane. 26 minutes. Big win for Canada. Should I read the stat lines for the Germany game? Germany's 2-0, by the way. Nobody worth talking about on Brazil, unfortunately, these days. Germany didn't shoot the 3-ball well, 31%. They shot 50% from the field, 82 from the foul line. Franz Wagner, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steals, and a block on 7 for 15 shooting, but he was 0 for 6 from 3. So 7 for 9 from 2. Tice, 6.6 boards. Dennis Schroeder, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. Leading the way. Isaac Bonga, 15 points. So they're one to watch. But anyway, that's it for me in this one, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure you comment what you think of Team USA's performance. Make sure you comment on the video. Give me constructive criticism because I always appreciate it. Of course, check out my most recent videos, guys. Basketball and Figueroa with Edwin, my weekly show talking all LA pro sports teams. And then, of course, my recent video showing all the statues at Staples Center. I know you guys don't know about all of them, so come on. Check it out if you're interested. And, of course, if you're wondering, Dime Machine. When is Dime Machine coming back? The answer is extremely soon. Sorry for the lag. Peace. Have a great night or have a good morning whenever you're listening. Go USA. By the way, that swimmer for France, Marchand, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. He's sick. He's really good. But anyway, by the way, congrats to the U.S. women's gymnastics. Simone Biles, absolute living legend. I still haven't watched it because I've been so just trying to watch these basketball games, but I got to. Congrats. Go USA. We'll catch you soon after the next game. And USA women's basketball, best of luck to them in their game on Thursday. All right, I'm going to read the comments real quick. Hardy Woodaway says, congrats that you won with 12-star players against one of the poorest countries in the world. Hey, man, I didn't ask for anybody to throw us a victory lap. I wasn't doing a victory lap. What's up, big baby? Bronny will not be in the Olympics. I hate that Celtics are so stacked. What's up, Junebug? What's up, Showtime, Nick? Yeah, it's 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Almost no one here. I was asleep during the game, and I'm here. I got to check to see if USA games are televised where I am so I can record them for later. Kike A says, Dime Dropper's the real deal. Super underrated. Oh, thanks, man. Am I underrated or Hazard? Chelsea, best player Chelsea ever? I don't know about that. I think I'll have to go with John Terry, Lampard, or Didier Drogba. I'd probably say Terry or Lampard. He played more years. I'd probably say John Terry, bro. He's one of our own. Captain. I think he's probably the best ever. If I'm being completely honest. Hazard, though, I'll take the propaganda. He's definitely he could be in the top 5. Him and Zola. Bam did his thing today. He did. Steph didn't look so great. You keep beating me to the punch dime. I was behind on the video. I just refreshed it. Canada and Germany are real competition. Nobody's surprised Dylan got into it. He's the new antagonist. There's always a main villain in every era. Dre and Rodman previously. KG, everybody liked, though. A lot of people liked him. Germany are factors. Take care. So, all right, guys. Peace out. Have a good night. Make sure you comment on the video, though, for the algorithms.